Mi mejor amiga. What is up, my homies? We are here talking, chatting, about to hit it back up. I think we've just wrapped up our little series on PCS. There's plenty of stuff that we can constantly talk about and keep going into it, but you know, as we've seen, I typically just go in tangents.
And we want to kind of
not,
yeah. But also not be repetitive in every single episode.
Yeah, because I mean, like as we're going through those episodes and we're talking about certain things, they overlap eventually,
right?
You know, because obviously it's one of those step by step, or at least things to think about, or how to do, what not to do, things like that, and they all essentially connect to each other. You know, so. You know, for now, it's going to be a little bit of a bow on that because I feel like we have covered enough. Enough people have said, you know, tons of great information, lots of good stuff. Keep it going. Like, got it.
But there's only so much we can do.
And I mean, we could turn this into a completely just strictly VA style of podcast, but that's not our goal.
No.
We want to talk about other stuff too.
We're going to talk about everything.
And it is end of February, coming to March, so.
I didn't know where you were going to go with that.
I like it.
a little nervous.
I like it. So, my homies, we're here to just kind of recap that PCS series kind of thing. Obviously, get into some more stuff coming up. And then, obviously, if someone's got a question or a comment or anything on the PCS stuff, just reach out.
Yeah,
Let us know.
We're more than happy to help in any way we can.
100%. So, what you got for me?
So today we're just gonna wrap up that whole PCS series.
Outline highlight.
Yeah, with some of our takeaways, like the major key points, takeaways, and then maybe go into what we're seeing right now with our industry. I think that would be a little, not like, careful, John. I see your wheels turning right now. We're not.
What part of the industry?
No. Like, a little bit of what's going on in the market right now.
Got it.
Okay. We're not diving in on anything hardcore.
You don't want to talk about Compass and Rocket?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
We need to
episodes.
The episodes are to be references for people to use. Okay?
Got it.
Let's stick to that.
Got it. HeyLeo.com.
Shameless plug.
All right. So, one of the main reasons why we did this PCS series was so that people could, families, service members, VATs, whoever, even if you know somebody, you're like, oh, hey, did you check that out? Also, like we had mentioned a few times too, for realtors that are trying to, realtors that are attempting to help, getting into the business to help military and service members and things like that. You know, we did this as far as, you know, it's veterans and service members and military. I mean, it's such an important part of our community. You know, what they do, why they do it, and things like that. And you know, buying a house, moving is not their sole mission.
Correct.
Our sole mission is to help with that and to do that thing for those people. So we just wanted to make sure that was out there for an aid, essentially, for people.
Yes, a little guideline.
Yeah.
Don't follow it to a T. Do what works for you, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, oh, John and Rebecca, this is how we have to do it. No, man. John and Rebecca gave you, like, key points, outlines, things to think about.
Things to really think about.
Use it, don't take it and use it.
Right.
If it applies, it applies. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Take it, don't use it. We don't care.
So, my bad. Mi mejor amiga. All right.
So why we did the PCS series?
Yep. Why we did it?
I mean, we touched a lot on the emotional sides of families having to pick up and leave.
Yep.
We touched a lot about the timelines.
Yep.
How having teams are important.
Yep.
we just really wanted to put that in place and make sure people knew. Like
100%, because people don't know.
right.
They don't. And when you simply just hop on the Google and you're like, how do I begin? How do I buy a home?
Right.
You're just having people, a lot of people that pay to play people on the internet are just being thrown in front of you. And as
You're
sad
on a
as
timeline.
as sad as it is, I mean, like, some of these people don't understand those timelines, and they're just like, business is business.
Right.
And it's not like that for us.
And we understand the VA loans. We understand the tight timelines.
The lifestyle, the timelines,
Correct.
all that stuff. You
Yeah.
know. So
We're ready to help when any kind of relocation's needed.
100%. I mean, and like I said, you got PCS moves aren't just real estate transactions, which people do. That those military friendly people. They're just another transaction. But hey, look what I did for somebody. They were a service member.
Right.
They're life transitions. On a deadline, and a lot of those military friendly realtors don't get that.
Right.
Which, if you're learning, you're learning. But ask for help from a realtor standpoint. Like, just don't be like, I love military.
I feel like you're on.
Good for you. Congratulations. Everybody should love military. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Some of our biggest lessons from our PCS series.
Woo. Finances.
Get your finances in check before you start looking.
Yeah, man. You want to get financially prepared. People want to be financially prepared. You don't just like rock and roll and be done. Oh, I'm buying a house. All right, well, where are you going? What's your BAH? How can you afford? What do you want to afford? What other lifestyle events do you have?
Preparation of the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, the big financing is a big thing. Obviously, the understanding your BAH piece, like I had just touched on, I mean, that's just how it goes. I mean, you're being paid a housing allowance, and whether you choose to flex that with a home purchase off base, or you're just like, look, I don't want to buy, I'm going to go on base, so be it. Or if you're renting, you're renting. It is what it is. It's just, like I said, going back to understanding what's going to be your best,
Yeah.
what's best for you.
Having boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Getting your team together, which leads into getting your whole team together.
I mean, the big thing, you touched on it a lot, and I in the beginning of it, it was one of those where, having that team in place that's familiar, they know what they're doing, they know how to do it, they've been there, they've done that, they live it day in and day out. It's not just like a advertisement or marketing on their social medias. Like you don't see us go crazy on social media marketing just because it's one of those. We're just too busy living that life to help out people.
Right.
Where, great. We're in a digital age.
I try to
You
stay.
should do that stuff. That's fine. But like when you have people that are having all these like fancy ads, doesn't always mean that those are the best people for you.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
I'll go put a fancy ad together.
You don't already have fancy ads?
No.
But you're John Logan.
Yeah, so I got a fancy hat. I got a fancy wife.
Ta! I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but no, the communication with your team, the team understanding the local environment, the ways that your VA loan can or cannot work based on you, first time home buyer, second time use, things like that. You have to have that going on. That's where, having the right team in place just matters.
Right.
Because they have their contractors. Like I've run into I don't know how many people over the last week or two that have just been like, oh my God, I'm buying a home, or oh my God, I'm selling my home, and I don't know who to call to paint or carpet or floor or plumber or mechanic or whoever. I'm like, we got all these people.
And we've got people that can work
whenever.
like that. Yeah.
I got people.
They'll make us happen.
I got people and the people and the people. And
right. Sophie Tucker.
He like that. What else you got?
Well, we just touched on the team section of things. The flexibility, temporary housing, rent backs, how we can navigate through all of that should we need to because of your timelines.
Well, that's understanding. That's understanding those timelines,
right.
Not just understanding how a rent back or rentals or home purchases works. Like, great, every realtor should know that. But when you have when you have a military member that's on a flexible timeline or a strict timeline, you have to be able to. We have to be able to be flexible for them. Like, I can't just be one way for every client based on just because I'm a realtor.
Right.
It's strictly flat out military members. Everyone's story is different. Even though the mission typically ends up the same, their stories are all completely separate and different. And we've got to cater to those stories to make sure that that chapter gets written for them.
Right. I like that. Aw, that was cute.
It's how coming from the heart. It's who I am.
Okay.
That's why I don't do fancy commercials, because they don't come from the heart. Just scripted, and here we go.
You're ridiculous today.
I am.
I don't even know who you are right now.
Just trying to put a smile on my booze face. It's working.
I was bad mood Becky 20 minutes ago.
Now you're just like, boy, you crazy.
And my face is on fire.
Heck
Anyways.
Yeah. Education reduces stress. That's always a big thing. Education piece here. You know, when you go at it just willy-nilly and you live a life of chaos, so be it. But chaos typically ends up with like a post-close, like what's going on with that and how that and this is broke and this is that, where the entire process from A to Z, from where you're coming from, where you're going, what's your timeline, what can you afford, what do you want to afford, and what do you want to buy,
and what's your plan for leaving,
and what's your plan for leaving. Like, that's the education piece, where that checklist that we discussed, where people just don't put that into place.
People usually don't even think about the what's your plan for leaving part of it either.
Not one bit. I mean, we were talking today, like two of our clients right now that are under contract are looking at some of the homes they're purchasing. You know, they're going to be here for 2, 3, 4 years, so be it. And they get that where they're buying, they're going to turn it into an investment property eventually. Love it. Great. Because they might come back. And if they come back, they want a place to just, I don't have to worry about buying another house. Mm-hmm. I got a place. And then we have a person as well where that same style of home, and they're like, I'm going to be here for 20 years. I don't care. All right, cool. Well, you don't have an exit plan. Let me know when you get one. let me know when life changes.
Yeah.
And then we'll put an exit plan together for you.
Yeah, I'm looking at our list of people right now, and I'm like, every single house that we have on that board right now that's under contract
has a completely different life plan.
But they're all in places where, should something change for them in their journey in this house, we can make things happen.
100%.
Because it's in great places for them.
Great markets, great places, sustainability, rentability, the whole nine. So the exit plan, like you said, that exit plan is clutch. And I know some realtors don't like to go after that off the bat, because then you're like, this could take longer to settle it. I got bills due.
Right.
But it's like,
that's not...
if you think about an exit plan and you talk about an exit plan, and that client appreciates you thinking about their next step when they're not even thinking about it, that's when more trust, confidence.
I'm also going to stop you right there, because
Stop me.
When you say, what'd you just say? It might take longer to settle, and I got bills due.
Yep.
That is not a client problem. That's a you problem.
Yeah.
So let's be clear on that one, Mr. Realtor.
If you got bills to pay and you're like pressing for transactions, that's on you.
That's a you problem.
Go get that part time.
Right.
There's plenty of locations to dunk fries if you need to.
Lord, okay.
Just saying. I don't know. That's what I used to do when I was growing up. What else we got?
Oh my gosh. No, just to touch on that too, we believe in the over communication.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those where a lot of people appreciate that over communication piece, because obviously with mission accomplishment within the military, you always have to have, more is best. You can't just get bare minimum and hope for the best. Like lately, it's one of those where a lot of first-time home buyers don't understand, like, and I know this is always going to happen, so I always bring it up, where it's like, hey, look, the first week's going to be hustle and bustle, but obviously we're like a 20-day, 25-day close, but that first week, you're going to hear it from everybody, like, all the time.
And then it'll go dead
And then
silent.
it's like 2 to 3 weeks of nothing.
Yeah.
And it's not like just nothing. It's like lenders working behind the scenes, title working behind the scenes, things pop up on the realtor standpoint behind the scenes. It's all being taken care of. You're clearly going to get updates, whether it's like, hey, nothing.
Right.
Got nothing for you.
Right.
How you guys doing?
I mean, my last client that we just
Enjoy
settled,
your weekend.
She was like, this was the smoothest thing ever.
And it's like, it's so bad.
And I was like,
it's so bad.
Well,
Because I'll second guess myself sometimes. I'm like, did we miss something? And it's like, and then obviously post-close check that we do, I'm like, nope,
Well, we were
good.
sitting at the settlement table and we were talking about something that me and the lender were scrambling on very last minute day of closing or day before closing. And she was like, I didn't know about that. I was like,
I
because
recall
that's
you.
something
I
I
recall
can
you.
handle
Yeah, and it's
without having to worry you.
And exactly, and that's one of those things where it's like, I mean, you're going to, from a client standpoint, or customer, buyer, I mean, or even a seller, I mean, you're gonna hear nothing.
Right.
You're
I'm not
it's,
worrying
it's
you
not
for
gonna
no
be
reason.
like crickets. I mean, we're gonna just be like, hey, got nothing for you.
Right. Nothing on your end for you to do right now.
I mean, typically, the only thing we got to worry about from, end of inspection contingencies to settlement is making sure that anything that we requested to be repaired, replaced, fixed, credited, or whatever is done or getting done.
Correct.
Or there's a plan in place or whatever. Other than that, I mean, it's not like we're sitting here and,
that's that
the
reducing
11th
stress.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
You're moving.
I mean, the poor girl, I won't say the poor girl, but the girl, first-time home buyer that we're dealing with, the girl's just like, yesterday and today have been like a whirlwind. I'm like, I promise, give it like another day or two, and there'll be nothing for you to do until we have to talk about inspections, talk about appraisal. And even then, that's just like no sweat off our back. It might be something stressful for you, but it's one of those where we discuss it to a point where it's like, look, you're fine. We got you.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy this house if you don't want to
Correct.
during inspections because inspections came up and you're like, oh, my Lord, I don't want to take care of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, communication is huge. That goes back to the right team, the right people, the right thing. Making sure you're prepared. Over-prepared, under-prepared is not the key. Always want to be over-prepared. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how we roll. We have to over-prepare you.
Let me just recap this real quick.
Worst case scenario, but it might not happen.
Our biggest lessons from the PCS series, again, just a recap. Preparation's everything.
Yep.
The right team matters.
Yep.
Flexibility is amazing.
Yep.
And education reduces your stress.
100%. Yep.
High five.
Boom. Got it.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
we're going to talk about a little what's going on. I mean, it's hard to say, hey, what's up in the local market? Because from an average standpoint, I don't like to go into the whole average on the state because it's not fair for people looking in certain areas to be like, oh, my Lord, that's happening there. It's one of those where every market's different.
yes.
I think this is a discussion, not so much numbers. I think it's going to be a trend. I want to talk about trends going into 2026 with, and talking with other realtors. They're doing the same boat. They're doing the same thing. They have the same experiences. But I mean, some of the trends right now, I mean, like we're just seeing some houses that are overpriced.
A lot.
We're seeing some houses that are overpriced. That goes back into that whole thing about the winter time frame, being able to get a deal during the winter, which we're technically still there, but the spring market's coming. More houses are coming on the market. I've been talking to people. They're looking over the winter and definitely over-communicated to them that the winter time is the time for a deal. It's not the time to find that dream-style home unless that deal unless it's during the winter time that deal is made. And it's certain buyers or certain ways where, they will be in the spring market and competing, because it will be where more buyers are coming. Like we're not slow. Everybody's slower during the winter, but it is literally ramped up over the last 2 weeks where buyers are out, sellers are calling. People
I literally just got 2 text messages in the last 2 hours.
Well, that goes back to the whole 3 phone calls this week. Hey, I'm thinking about selling,
right?
Or I'm moving, or something like that. That's a sign of a strong spring market coming. So for a buyer that's looking to buy a home or been on the fence, get with somebody now, get pre-approved, get your finances in order, get ready to roll. Don't wait for the spring market to get here because you will get left behind. You won't, hey, I need to buy a home by April, but I don't want to get pre-approved till middle of March.
Well, I saw some headlines today saying that the interest rates are the lowest they've been lately too. So
yeah, I think it was one of those where, and
that's
I like the interest rate conversation because it's always a matter of what was the rate, what's going on. But I think when you talk about headline, and it's always one of those, we definitely look at different sources, but the one that stuck out was lowest base rates essentially since 2022.
It's a big deal.
That's a huge deal. I mean, because that's one of those where obviously 20, 20, 20, 21, and then obviously that summer of 22 is where boof,
Right.
Things were like, whoa, what happened overnight? But no, that's cool because that is going to the lower rates. And obviously, we're in a digital age where everybody has to read the news and they're reactive to the news. It's going to get people thinking more as far as, okay, maybe it's time. Maybe I don't have to be locked into this house right now and I have that affordability.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always a cool thing. Yeah, when rates go down, and everybody, rates go down, prices go up, vice versa, all this stuff. But it's one of those where, like, I think we're at, and obviously the spring will tell us, but usually it happens. Prices are going to go up a little bit. It's just the way it's going to be because that demand's going to be there.
Right.
People are going to juice their offers.
Which then leads into the next topic of...
What's the next topic?
Inventory.
Oh, Lordy. To be completely honest, I am ill prepared for that one because I usually am like on top of it as far as months of inventory, what's going on. But last I checked, it was like 1.4, 1.6. I think it was at one point over the winter, it was like the lowest it's been in like 2 years also.
Yes. Well, I mean, we had a lot happening over the winter too that led to that. The shutdowns.
Shutdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holidays. I mean, holidays in general make it very slow.
I mean, especially
But
when you couple inventory, government shutdown, and the holidays, you're just like, is anybody going to sell their house?
Right. No, I have a house that's been sitting, and it's the lowest that area has been in years.
Yeah. No, we talked about that, and that's just
which then caused a huge price drop
because it doesn't
because
matter.
It's like you've got to catch back up to the market.
Marketing will sell your house as it sits, but pricing, the right price will ultimately get the market to move on the product. Like the housing market isn't just like it's simple sales. It's
right.
Sales 101. No one's gonna buy a Snickers bar next door for $5 when you can go to the whatever bodega and get it for $1.25.
Bodega. I've heard that word so much lately.
It's a fun little. I love the word bodega. People are like, huh?
I associate it with like a cabana.
Recently that were just like, I can't wait to get back home so I can go to the local bodegas and get the food that we always grew up. I'm like,
yeah, you said it.
Fun.
This is exactly.
But to the point, I mean, it's sales 101. Inventory is going to come. Sales are going to be driven off of prices. It's not going to be driven off of the gajillion of, yeah, I just put $1,000 behind a 15-minute video in your home that it was cool and great and dandy to make, but if it's overpriced, it's overpriced.
But do you know what that video actually does? It just brings in buyers. It doesn't.
It stirs the question. It gets the interest for the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which then leads to, I love how you're doing this. You're talking about something and it's leading me to the next thing, which is the next.
I've just picked this up too, so.
Seller expectations.
All right.
Pricing realistically, because we've been in the markets where sellers could just get whatever. They could put a number on a house and you're going to get that number.
We had 2 homes in the fall that were overpriced and trying to battle that price point. One seller was down and understood it. It hurt. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. He got it. We came off the market. Hopefully we're going to hit the spring, that middle spring where our goal is that middle spring to see what happens and go from there with it. Another guy, no budge on price, just is what it is, stuck, let's go. First number I said, and just obviously based on, here's what I think can happen with comps based on the area, with what you have, but it is a changing market going into the fall and the winter, so please, let's stay conscious of the price point. I'm good. We're good. Cool. Whatever. All right. House is off the market. Didn't sell. Cool. Whatever. But expectations of sellers, I mean, like, and it's always one of those where we over communicate to the sellers. Always over communicating to the sellers.
Could pan in on that face you just made.
You never know. But always want to over communicate to sellers that your $300,000 of updates over the last 6 years really doesn't equivalent to what someone's willing to pay for your house for.
Right.
Great. You possibly, with that much money, you probably just brought your house up to a current standard of living.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because during COVID times, obviously, you could just put a number on a house and get what you wanted.
And some buyers are willing
in whatever condition.
Exactly. And some buyers are still willing to do that because they can see, whatever their financial position may be, they are willing to put in that equity I got this. I'm cool. I'm in where I want to be. I got what I want. What am I leading into another
You
point?
are.
Of course I am. Of course I am. But it's one of those where, overpricing is what do we always say? Days on market is the home's killer. I mean, it's going to kill the appeal. It's just, it is what it is.
It's going to leave open more negotiations.
I mean, it's going to leave. I mean, you got 35 days on market when the average is like 5, so to speak, say 5. Someone's going to come in and say, what's wrong with this property?
Right.
There could very well be nothing wrong whatsoever. Perfect home.
Literally just
Seller went
the price.
through and had everything done, updated, looking good. But some random website somewhere told them that their house is worth this, and they averaged it out based on their neighbor down the street who's got 4 extra acres and another 1,000 square feet, and they want to be close to that. Like that's not reasonable. So
with the buyer behavior, you're seeing what now?
Certain areas, like I said, buyers are willing to take on those not updated homes, so to speak. Whether it's, trends have changed in the last 5 or 6 years. Trends have changed in the last 4 years. But as far as aesthetics in a home and the what homes look like, I mean, buyers are willing to take on things because I personally try to educate my people on equity and sweat equity and what they can or can't build and what's done to a home versus what they can or can't do.
But with them knowing that they have to do these changes, we're seeing more of, well, we know that this is worth this, so we could probably
at different price points.
Yeah.
People are willing to do certain things at different price points. And it's not boilerplate either. It's not like one price point just doesn't do it, or another one that's all, like some people at that I'm spending X amount of dollars. I have got to have everything perfectly done.
Right.
But not understanding that the market alone, separate houses in the area, buyer activity, what's going on, I mean, that's just not going to drive your expectations. And other spots, it's where it's like, hey, man, I got X amount of dollars. I've been saving up for a house for a few years. I'm not the handiest, but, I'm cool with doing a little bit of work. It's not one way or the other. And I think for a seller, that if a seller's going to listen to this, or if another realtor's like, what's he talking about? It's more of just like understanding, like, one, your buyer profile that's coming into the market. Like, hey, having that consultation, getting the expectation versus reality set, making sure someone understands what's happening in certain neighborhoods versus what's not. Because there's some neighborhoods where people don't care what they spend. They just got into there because they know what's going to happen. Whether it's schools, the ability to do the equity, the neighborhood feel, or the out in the middle of nowhere feel. It's just having that buyer expectations coming into the market. And having that kind of reflect on the seller piece where, like, hey, I don't need to do anything. This neighborhood is going to sell itself. I'll go update the bathroom if you need me to.
I don't really see sellers doing that.
I'll go update the half bath if you need me to.
Right.
I'll put a new fridge in. You know what I mean? Like, the mentality. The mentality there is just having that expectation of what someone's willing to do or not, and it's not one of those things where, you can either battle it or you can't. And yeah, I mean the inspections. Like buyer, buyers asking, that piece too, where we are seeing a lot more negotiations. We are seeing a lot more home inspection items being requested because it goes back to that standard living where a seller may or may not have done anything, thinking that the house is worth what the house is.
In pristine condition, where it's not. Yeah,
correct. And it's one of those where some buyers are willing to take it on and some buyers aren't.
Right.
It's not. There's no. Real estate's not boilerplate right now. There's no this is how it goes.
No. Like I said, every single one of those deals, they're all different.
I remember some of these blocks up here, like we have our, obviously we have our deal flow with what's going on and what what our contingency dates are. I remember for the longest time, like none of those blocks would be filled out.
They'd have lines throughout.
They would just be like, hey, the settlement's thin. Because, and that was one of those where I hate it. I hated doing it, but you educate a buyer because they miss out on so much, and we make sure the home is good to go. And whether we do an inspection, walk and talk, or someone's familiar with how to fix things, taking the home on as it is, and it is what it is. But all that's back in play now, and it's kind of fun because
You know what
now
else
it's
is back
like
in play?
listing agents that take listings that don't know how to list houses. That's definitely back in play.
That's definitely back in play.
Here's a property inspections notice. What is that?
That's
Welcome to the real
this
world.
is just insane what we're seeing right now. Anyways.
Yeah, that could be a different topic.
Yo, that's a whole different topic. I don't know if that might be a controversial one.
I don't care.
Oh. Well, what do all of these things that we're seeing right now mean for, since we've already touched on and we're wrapping up our PCS series? What does that mean for military families?
Still strong market. Still strong market for a buyer and a seller.
You might come into...
Like, obviously, we're still in a seller's market by definition, but in my opinion, in certain locations, it's more of a balance based on what the needs are. Like, there's plenty of homes out there for a buyer to say, hey, cool. Like, and they're not getting beat out by 1,000 other, like, offers right now.
No, but
But
are
obviously
seeing
we're going into
multiple
spring
offers.
We're definitely seeing, but we're going in the spring market, so we will be seeing more and more where it's like 2, 3, 4, 5 some odd offers. I mean, I know another realtor we talked to recently. They had one house in January had 20 some odd offers, and they're like, 20 some offers. My seller doesn't want to look at 20 offers.
No.
And it's like, pick me the 5 highest, and you're like, well, there's 15 highest, so we got to go through this. But obviously, it's one of those where, for military members, don't be afraid. Don't be like, oh, I'm not going to be able to buy a house.
Right.
It's going to happen. We make it happen. We talk, we educate, set expectations, from a real standpoint, and go from there.
Cash is not king.
Cash is not king because we have lenders that can close in 15 days, and cash deals are usually, unless like cash is just like a stack of money, but no one's taking that anyways.
Suitcase money.
Mattress money. I hate that term. But cash can still be king, but you better make that bad boy clean. Like, don't come at me with cash 15, 25, 30 under list,
right,
and ask for a gajillion things to be done.
Right.
Because someone coming in that list, but I'm going to take 25 days to get it closed. They're not really asking for too much, but like HVAC service or a new water heater. I like that one better.
Right. You're getting the most
I like it better for
your
you.
house.
Can
Let's
you wait?
Be smart about this.
Do you need cash in 10 days? No, I'm good. All right, so we can get $35,000 more in
from a bank.
10 more days. So, and yeah, VA loans are still competitive. We're getting the phone calls from the VA loans still from certain. I won't say certain. I'm just gonna say from any given listing agent randomly is like, well, you know what I heard about VA loans. I'm like, dude, that's still
we are still educating
happens?
Other realtors about
Are
VA
we
loans
really
because they are
still
educating
throwing
themselves.
a fit about a VA loan?
Educate.
Come on, you 4-digit license number holding people. You're just.
Oh my god. The embarrassment. Right
Come
now.
at me, bro.
Oh shit.
You know how many homes I've sold in my? Yeah. How many? Congrats. How many did you sell last year?
Oh god.
And then obviously for the VA families, timing matters more than ever going into the spring market because your PCS, your orders, your report date, that's one of those things. You're never gonna let go of that one. I don't even care. What's next, babe? What do we got?
Oh gosh.
Oh, from looking at real estate from that 30,000 feet, it's we can't couple it into the state of Maryland. Like when we talk about people coming in and buying, we always like to make sure that Maryland's more hyper local. It's a very hyper local state. And a lot of the times what we've been hearing over the last few months, schools are very important to people right now. They're moving for certain reasons. They're moving within Maryland to certain areas for schools, or they're moving out of the area because they're just done with living in certain spots. So it's one of those where a hyperlocal area, neighborhood, zip codes. Zip codes aren't cool anymore. It's what's going on within that zip code. Where am I at within that zip code? I don't want to live in that zip code. I want to live in the other side. All right, cool, whatever. You're still close to Walmart, so let's do it. Or whatever. Relationships these days matter more than ever as well. From that viewpoint, because that team in place is going to be there to help you get in and out of that house. Whether that exit plan's in place or not, or you have an exit plan, or you had a realtor, great, they got me into it, but I don't trust them to get me out of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I've had those conversations in the last few weeks with people thinking about selling. Hey, my buyer agent was great, but I don't know if they can sell my house. I'm like, well, I know I can, so let's rock. And we had that conversation, and we do a full-on expectation versus reality consultation. And I don't care who you are, realtor-wise or not. But I am... Did you hear that? I'm hungry, apparently. I don't care who you are or not, but my consultation is going to be an hour plus. And it all depends on what your situations are.
Or 4.
Dude. Well, if you got a seller consult and a buyer consult.
Oh. My bad.
How I want to buy a house. Cool. Well, we got to sell this first. Oh, well, by the way, we can help you do both. And we're very successful at it.
Well, at the end of the day, market shifts.
Yep.
Rates change.
Yep. Family situations change.
Inventory changes.
Life goals change.
Everything changes.
Life is life. Life is life. So, yeah. I mean, from that 30,000 foot view, it's hard to just say, I want to buy a house in Maryland with somebody that's got fancy ads.
Have you seen an ad lately? You keep going back to that, and I'm just like, where is this coming from?
I've seen a few from some local agents over the last few weeks, and I'm just like, that agent's not even in Maryland. Why is there ad here? Oh, social media. Love it.
Anyways.
All right. Let's wrap this bad boy up, because I got to go show some houses.
Yeah, me too.
You too?
Me too.
Mi mejor amiga.
Oh, my gosh.
At least I'm saying it sweetly instead of our 9-year-old who's yelling it at you. Mi
Yeah,
mejor
I was
amiga.
terrified about what she was actually saying.
I thought she was doing like a seance.
Thank God for Aaron.
Am I right? Old Duolingo over here. All right. Wrap it up for us, babe. Bring us home.
Oh, I don't know.
You got this. Come on, girl. What you got? What you got?
If you have any questions, comments, concerns.
Good. Jeez. All right. Yeah, that's about it. That's funny. No. To wrap it up, to wrap this, our little PCS session that we're going to probably do more and more of eventually and all the things. Give us a shout. Research military, the blogs, the people, the Google, the whatevers. I mean, I'm terrible for this, and it is what it is, and I don't battle it, but I get the questions like, you don't have a lot of reviews. Yeah, I know. I sold 300 some odd homes in the last, 9 years. We've. What? We're coming up on 350, which is a pretty cool milestone, and I am terrible for asking reviews. And it's not like, well, if you did a good job, they wouldn't have to ask for it. No, because people just don't think about it sometimes.
People are moving.
Yep.
That's the last thing on their mind is leaving someone a review.
So to the point, give us a call. We know a lot. We know a lot about a lot. And if we don't know the answer, we know a lot of people that know a lot.
To wrap this up.
To wrap this up.
What doesn't change is our commitment to helping people move forward.
I love you. So, follow, share, comment, DM, high
YouTube,
five.
Spotify,
YouTube,
Instagram,
Spotify.
TikTok. I think that's it, right?
I don't know. You're in control of that.
Just all of the things.
Yeah. We have to be on 8 platforms because if not, our GEO and SEO won't roll.
Well, you're in charge of the Google stuff, so there's that too.
Love a Google. Cool. All right, my homies. That was us in a nutshell. That was a PCS in a nutshell. It probably went a couple places back and forth, which is fine because it's just how I roll.
Yeah. Hone in on the keywords.
Hone in on.
That's it.
I love it. Happy Friday.
Yeah.
See ya.